How y'all
Good morning.
doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. Glad to hear. Mr. McManus, would you tell us your name, full name, and DOC number?
John Joseph McManus, 34. No, hold on. 463464.
There it is. All right. Thank you. I was going to help you out there. Mr. McManus, you're here for a parole decision this morning. So you are classified as a second felony offender. You're currently serving a 7-year sentence for indecent behavior with a juvenile. You were sentenced originally in October 2015. You were given probation, but that was revoked in November of 2020. Your parole eligibility date is January 19th, 2023. Excuse me, you don't earn good time, and your full term is October 19, 2024. Does all that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your case this morning has been assigned to Mrs. Wise. Would you answer her questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The records I have show that you are the father of 6 children. Is that correct?
Well, I'm the father of 5, actually. One was my stepchild.
Oh, okay. All right. What are the ages of your 5 children?
From 9 to 18.
9 to 18. How many mothers is that?
1.
Okay. All right. All right. But was that the mother of the child that's the victim in this offense?
Yes, ma'am.
So that was your child?
No, she actually my stepdaughter too. I raised her from a baby.
Oh, so you when you said 5 children, okay. So that okay.
Well, I raised her, so I feel she is my child.
Okay, but I understand, but so you were with this woman and y'all had 5 children, and then she had a child for somebody else, and then y'all got back together?
Oh no, she had mine after. The oldest child is the one that's my stepchild. I had 4 after that.
Okay, I'm not clear. But tell me this, was it the child that's the victim of this offense, was that your natural child or was that your stepchild?
No, that's my stepchild.
Okay. And that child was how old?
During the offense or now?
Yeah, during the offense.
She was 10.
Okay. And you were 29, is that correct?
Yes, 28, 29, yes, ma'am.
29, okay. What was going on in your life for you to do that?
Ma'am, I could tell you the truth, and I wish they could have been here on this call with us. I did not do nothing to my child, but I didn't fight it like I supposed to. So this is why I wind up at in my life, but
Okay, all right. So you have completed a sex offender treatment program. Is that correct?
I'm in phase 4 right now, the last phase.
In the last phase now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's right, because you're scheduled to graduate June the 2nd of 23, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The records I have show you have 8 years of education. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that? Why did you drop out?
Well, I was young, and I came from a family that was doing bad, so I try to help my mama out. She was a single mother. My daddy was in jail, so that was my reason there.
How old were you at age 8? I mean, 8th grade, how old were you?
I was 15.
Okay. So you had failed a few years already. So
Well,
you went to work? Go ahead.
I started late, I think.
Oh, okay. So but you didn't.
No, I didn't fail.
Okay. So you dropped out of school to go to work and try to support your family.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. I do want to advise you that you do have law enforcement opposition to your early release. There's nothing you can do about it. But they are opposed. You got revoked because of a drug charge. Were you using or were you selling?
No, ma'am, I wasn't using her selling. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's
All
why
right.
that charge just really dropped.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
that charge dropped.
But the other thing was that you were not attending your sex offender classes.
I was, but I was working at the same time. So it was hard for me in a way, but I was working at sandblasting and painting.
Okay, good. Okay, good. But you know, you got to balance that.
Yes,
It's
ma'am. I know it was.
and your freedom is you balance it high on the freedom side to do whatever you need to do in order to stay free.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just want to put that out there. Now when you got higher education because you don't have your education. Have you thought about going online and getting your high set? Have you done any kind of work on that? How to get some education?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was gonna do. And I had went to a adult school called Rosenwald where I'm from.
Okay,
And I was trying to get my GED then, but dealing with that charge, they had let me go.
okay.
So
Dealing with that charge.
yeah, with the sex offense charge.
Oh, you couldn't be at the school?
No, they said they had someone else. Well, one person was 17, so they didn't let me go.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Have you had victim awareness?
Victim awareness, like,
A class called victim awareness. Have you had it?
oh no, ma'am.
Okay. So if you was successful today, where would you live and how would you support yourself?
I have my daddy. I'll be living with my daddy. I discharged there once before. And I have a variety of people that's helping me out. Like my sister, my best friends, they farmers in the plant. That's who they got me the job sandblasting and painting. They still
Uh-huh.
waiting on me now. I have
Okay.
another friend, he do lawn service. I work with him too.
Okay, good. Uh, have you had any kind of with your adult children? Have you talked with them since you've been in jail? What's their take on this?
My son, I talked to him not too long ago. I have one son that he have sickle cell, so he just went through a surgery recently,
Okay,
probably
I'm
like a
sorry.
week ago.
Okay.
But my oldest is 15. Well, he about to make 15.
Mm-hmm.
And he want me home.
Yeah, I'm talking about your oldest, your adult children. What are they saying about this whole scenario here?
It's
What
only
are they?
one of them, it's only one of them adult, and that was my stepchild. She's 19. Well, she about to make 19 next month.
Okay.
My oldest biological child about to be 15 next month.
Oh, okay. Okay then. Okay. All right then. Well, that's all I had. Let me hear from the ward staff there. Have you? Yeah, deputy. I'm so sorry. Have you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he had any write-ups? Tell us how he's been doing. How Mr. John been doing at your facility?
We've had no problems out of him. I mean, he's very he kind of to himself. You know, I've been around him a lot and everything, and he don't cause the guards no trouble. He don't try to antagonize any kind of inmate or offender, excuse me.
Okay.
Like that, you know. I mean, I've had no problems with him, and I've been around him for about 4 or 5 years now. So
Good.
everything's been good with him.
Well, what does he do every day?
He gets up, walks around, you know, moves around, sits around, watch TV, and to keep occupied, they'll play cards or whatever, play chess and stuff like that. You know.
So he don't have a job assignment then? Okay.
No, ma'am, not right now. He doesn't.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I had, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Roche.
Mr. McManus,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon. Mr. McManus, why did you plead to indecent behavior with a juvenile and a 7-year sentence if you didn't do anything?
Well, at that time, sir, I could tell you the truth. It's like I done seen so much situations that happen, and I ain't have no money behind me to hire a real lawyer, and just throwing my life away for nothing. that was gonna be hard for me. Like I wanted to go to trial, but I felt like if I was gonna lose, I was gonna lose a lot of more of my life than taking that charge.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir, is there anything you'd like to say to us before we vote?
Well, I just like to say thank y'all for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, sir, thank you. All right, we're prepared to vote, Mrs. White.
Mr. McManus, it is a hard case, a very hard case, a hard situation. And it's just unfortunate what you're in. But because you have not completed a sex offender treatment program, my vote is to deny. You got high needs in terms of education and a moderate risk. And you got revoked, your poor supervision history. For that reason, my vote is to deny, and the nature of the offense.
Mr. O'Shea?
Mr. McManus, my vote is the same, and Mrs. Wise has mentioned all the reasons I made that decision.
Mr. McManus, I do concur with my colleagues. You have a full term date coming up next year. So you'll have time to complete the sex offender treatment class and hopefully work on a high school diploma. My vote today also is to deny, sir. So today your parole's been denied. Good luck to you. Wish you well.
Okay.
It's 12:09. We'll sign off now. Thank you.
I don't mean to, to vent on this, but Miss Wise, her interviewing style just really drives me nuts. It's like this man rapes his stepdaughter at 10 years old, and she's just like, oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, that's great. That's good. This is a tough case. What's tough about it? I'm going to thank Richard again for showing me. Here's the article. Not a lot in it, but this is one of the articles. What is... He was held on $100,000 bail. Doesn't say much, but it says that here, a 10-year-old girl was accused of having vaginal intercourse with the child multiple times while she was away from her mother. So he takes her from her mother to do that. And he had the sickness to say, I raised her and felt she was my child. The probable cause report from the Baton Rouge Police Department graphically details multiple incidences that were reported by the child. He denied touching her and did not know why she would make such a statement. Here's the other one. Here it gives a little bit more. 29-year-old man undressed the girl as she watched TV before allegedly raping her. Across the affidavit of probable cause, the girl told investigators that he had also molested her at least on one other occasion. You don't get arrested. You don't plead guilty to this kind of crime. These type of accusations and crimes don't happen by mistake. He raped his 10-year-old stepdaughter. And then he gets up here in front of the board. And of course, what's he do? He lies. And then to just insult to injury, Miss Wise just goes, oh, okay, that's great. Oh, alrighty. Then I said, oh, what about the drug charge? Oh, well, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you know what's confusing about this? First of all, he only gets a 7-year sentence. The man pleads to 7 years. What type of world do we live in? What is wrong with our society? But then he somehow got out early. Did I understand that correctly? He was let out immediately and he got revoked. How did he get out so quickly? How can you, as a DA, I get the whole not going to court thing. It wouldn't have worked out. They would have had to put him up on the stand, her on the stand, and I've seen how these things can go wrong. I saw a court case, and I'm going to put it up eventually. Been working on it, of where there was a trial, and things go wrong in trials. There's statements, witnesses say things that they're not allowed to say, and then there can be a mistrial, and there certainly would be appeals that might get granted. And of course, the victim has to go on the stand, and that's traumatizing. But why agree to 7 years? With parole eligibility, it seemed after just serving a 1 or 2 years. Do you believe that he did the crime? Then how can you let him back out into society? How? If he had had a serial possession charges, he could have gotten locked away for 20, 30 years. Well, we've seen life sentences for habitual offenders. But how is it that our society just simply does not respect the safety and the lives of our children? How is that? Thank you, at least for Mr. O'Shea, for calling out the obvious. Why did you plead guilty? His excuse, it makes no sense. With some money, I didn't want it to wreck my life. You pled guilty to get locked up for 7 years. How is that not? What are you saying? You plead guilty to raping your stepdaughter who's 10 years old. How is that not worse than any type of financial burden? Not to mention you're getting locked up. It makes no sense. You're as guilty as sin. And then Miss Wise says, it's a hard case. I would lose a lot more in my life if I didn't accept the charge. What? $7 years. Pat yourselves on the back, all of you in Louisiana. You got this guy locked up for 7 years. He got out. Now he's locked up, and he'll be free next year. Great job. You're keeping all of your citizens really safe. You should be proud of yourselves. Keeping them safe from pot dealers and people and drug addicts. Yeah. Keeping them real safe. But hey, you harm a child? You alter the course of their life? You take away her innocence? Let's kick the ball down the road. 7-year sentence. Let's all pat ourselves on the back. Let's go out there, drink after, and celebrate how we're keeping the worst of the worst out of our society. Remember that guy we got? Yeah, he had like a gram of pot in his pocket. Locked him up for 20 years. It was great. keeping our children safe. Oh, the guy who raped his 10-year-old stepdaughter. Ah, it must have been a misunderstanding. And then again, this is why I do this. This is why I'm passionate about doing this, because we need to bring to light how broken our system is, how shattered our system is, because this will not change unless people will be held accountable. The more people living in Louisiana that see this, maybe they'll vote differently. The more people seeing this everywhere in America, maybe they will understand, oh my gosh, we live in a society that simply does not have the systems in place to protect our children. This man will be a menace to children as long as he's free. There's nothing you can do about it. He's broken. He'll only get better at hiding it. What does he do all day? Well, he gets up, he walks around, he watches TV, he plays chess. What a life. On the taxpayer dollar, he gets to play chess. It's great. He'll take some programs. He'll learn what to say, so he seems like less of a cockroach. That's what we call people who hurt children on this channel. It's because they've been around forever. You can't get rid of them. You can squish them, but they just don't die. And for some reason, with all the technology in the world, with all of the incentives and reasons for a company to invent a better cockroach killer, they can't do it. Because cockroaches adapt. They breed so quickly, they pass along this quick immunities to their offspring, and they learn how to hide better in society from the next roach sprayer. And it's an interesting analogy, and you see that with To Catch a Predator. They get better. They use other apps. They learn how to, but we're still catching them. But it's one here and one there. So I think this is actually a more effective way, maybe, of stopping them. It's not just about catching them. It's not just about exposing them, but it's about exposing the broken system that we have in this country. In many of our states, there are some states that do better jobs than others. I think Georgia does a better job, I wouldn't say. I think they could still be more strict when it comes to this. But we need more severe punishments. We need DAs held accountable. We need laws to be changed. We need people to be aware that it is a problem. And that's why we're here. And with that, I'll let you go.